First of all, we will go to child development and pedagogy. All right. Well, friends, now let us discuss the CDP or child development and pedagogy syllabus in detail, right? So let me just zoom it for you. Well, so let us see how many units are here. So child development and pedagogy, this will be for 30 marks for paper 2 as well and paper 1 as well. So here we are talking about paper 2. So let us keep our focus only on paper 2, right? So here there are different units like understanding development. So what is development? Here we will, in understanding development, we'll be learning about meaning and concept of growth and development. All right, what is growth and what is development? All this we will be learning the entire concept and the meaning of these two terms, that is growth and development. However, growth, I mean, development is a bigger term as compared to growth. All right, and growth is just a part of development. And then we have developmental characteristics with respect to childhood and adolescence, since our focus will be mainly the children, right? So therefore we'll learn about the childhood and we will learn about the adolescent stage. What are the different types? What are the different like the what are the different scenarios of adolescent stage and childhood? This will be learning altogether. And then we'll learn development of children in a socio-cultural context. This is very important. Socio-cultural context, right? And its relationship to learning, and how does it relate with the learning? So these three important things we will be learning in this particular unit, understanding development. And please remember that this particular unit is for 3 marks, all right? Which means this is for one, this is for one, and this is for one. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. So this particular unit will be for 3 marks, simple topics and scoring, all right? So, and I always used to tell you, as I used to tell you, that and this is just, we are just discussing the syllabus as of now, right? The actual meanings, the actual learning we will do in our next videos, all right? As we proceed with our Mtet tutorial, then we'll proceed, all right? So let's go to the second unit. So let us see what we have in our second unit. So second unit is all about aspects. What are the different aspects of development, right? Like the physical aspect, physical development, motor development, cognitive development. So in cognitive development, we have a very important name. This is Piaget, right? Piaget is a very well-known educationist. So you have his theory even in paper 1 and in this paper 2 as well. So this name is very much important, Piaget. So never forget this, and you can mark it with a star mark, right? Piaget's theory of cognitive development, his theory of cognitive development in particular. Then we will discuss about socio-emotional development, social development, emotional development, right? Then moral development. See, as I have explained to you in paper 1, this is quite similar, right? However, here the things are given in detail. In paper 1, it is just briefly given. So here also there is one important name of the educationist, that is Kohlberg's theory of moral development. So these two names, please try to remember by heart: Kohlberg and Piaget. All right, Piaget and Kohlberg. And this particular unit, this unit 2, will be for how many marks? 4 marks. All right. Now let's go to the third unit, gender development. All right, gender development. So all of you understand what do we mean by gender? I hope you understand. So basically male and female, right? So let me write down here. Let me show you the symbol of how we represent a male or a female in biology. All right. So this is the symbol. This is the symbol we use for. All right, something went wrong here. Wait. All right, let me draw it again. So this is the symbol we use to relate to male. All right, and this is the symbol we use in order to represent a female. All right, male, female. So here we will be learning about male and female. So difference between gender and sex. So what is the difference between gender and what is the difference between sex? These two things we'll be learning in this particular unit. Then stages of gender development. You see there are different stages, right? It's a process of gender development. So we learn that. Then stereotypes. Stereotype is a very important word. Please try to remember this. Please try to uh, understand the meaning of this. However, I will be explaining to you, but then still you can try it on your own as well. Stereotypes in the process of gender development. What is the role of this particular stereotypes? You have to know this, all right? Then gender bias and educational practices. See, this bias is a very negative word, right? So what are the different types of gender biases we face in during educational practices? We will be learning about that. Now, gender identity. How do we identify in the family and in a matrilineal society? So this is a very, very interesting topic. So gender identity in the family and in a matrilineal society. So I have many things to say about this particular point, but I'll say it once we discuss the topic. All right. So let us go to number 4. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you that this particular unit is for 4 marks. All right, 4 marks. Now let us come down here. Unit 4, methods of child study. See, in school, what do? We deal with the kids, right? We deal with the children. So in order to deal with something, you need to know about their problems, right? See, whenever we go to a doctor, the doctor diagnoses, right? He asks us several questions, and depending on the signs and symptoms, he prescribes the medicines and he gives us different kinds of tests, right? So just likewise, what do we do in school? When we go to school as teachers, we have in front of us the children, right? Children. So we have to know the background, family background of the children. Then what are the incidences which has occurred in the life of children? What are his shortcomings, his abilities? So everything we need to know. And how do we know it? Through these different methods which are discussed in this particular unit, like cross-sectional and longitudinal and case studies. This case studies is very important. Now, naturalistic and participant observation. Through observation, we get to learn a lot about the children, right? Now, reflective journals. There are different types of journals. So one of it is reflective journals. Then student portfolio. So this student portfolio is a very, very, very important one. So when I was teaching in schools, what I used to do, I used to take this student's portfolio and I used to ask my students to fill it up so that I get to know an overview of my students' family background, all right, family background and their history, health histories, whatever, like everything about that child, particular child. So this portfolio, there is a format for this. So if I get time, I will discuss that with you, right? And also we have these anecdotal records. These terms are very important, all right? These anecdotal records and reflective journals, then student portfolio. This will be asked in exams as MCQs, and also interview. We will discuss about the interview. How do we interview the child? See, to give you a very simple example of interview is that whenever we want to take students in any schools, what do? We conduct interview, right? So that the we understand the child better, not to judge him or her, but to understand him so that uh, we can cater to his needs in the best possible way, right? So this particular unit is for 4 marks, right? Now let's go to number 5, unit number 5. Is this the last unit? No, there are some more. So this unit, right? Inclusive education and children with special needs. Remember this short form always. CWSN means children with special needs. Now inclusive education, this term is very much important. Inclusive term is very much important, all right? Now we will be learning about the concepts, meaning of inclusive education. What are the different concepts of inclusive education? Now what is the actual meaning of inclusive education? All right, all this we will be learning. Then we will also learn about difference between integrated and inclusive education. See, this is also very much similar. This particular unit is also very much similar with paper 1. Right? It's very much similar with paper 1. So these are the two different terms. Integrated is different, inclusive is different. So in examination, what happens, they will compare these two and ask you which one is which. All right. Now next is understanding disability and types of disability. All right. This is also very important. Last time in our exam, it was asked how many types of disabilities are there, and options were given different. So from there, we have to choose. All right. It is 21 types, 22 types, 23, 24. Right. Now barriers and challenges to inclusive education. This is also very interesting. Barriers and challenges to inclusive education. What are the different challenges we face, in an inclusive classroom? Now inclusive education and children from different backgrounds, see, from different backgrounds like tribal students, underprivileged children, then children from low financial backgrounds, children with literate parents, etc., children having health issues. All right, so different types of children who are especially able. So all these different categories of children we will be studying in this particular topic, that is inclusive education and children with special needs, right? Well, this unit is for 5 marks. This is a very interesting topic, unit. So try to put your time and energy here, right? The next we have is learning and pedagogy. Now let us come to unit 6, all right? So here, this unit is for 5 marks, all right? Here we will be discussing about concepts of learning and factors affecting learning. So our main motto will be learning, right? What are the different concepts of learning and what are the different factors which affects learning altogether? Then information processing approaches, concepts of working memory. Then we'll be learning about long-term memory, right? Long-term memory and attention, then encoding and retrieval, right? Retrieval.